Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Ha! The Rock's laying the smackdown.
The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says,
Know your role.
I want to see veins and sweat
Actually-
and muscles.
The Rock says, know your damn role.
To the Rock Block.
The Rock Block!
This is episode 2.
What's up, YouTube?
We are as surprised as you are that we are actually making an episode 2.
I'm not
but
surprised.
We
I am.
decided to kind of hit you with both barrels and kind of review 2 movies at once. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that coming. Well, my name is Zach.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Aaron.
So the 2 movies we're going to talk about today are Pain and Gain and Fate of the Furious, which is the Fast and Furious 8. Yeah.
So what do I have to say about that?
So just kind of overall, these movies we just watched weren't the greatest.
They weren't very good at all, Zach.
No, I would honestly. Let's see. Well, the second and third Rock movie we watched so far. The first being the Scorpion King in episode 1. I enjoyed that one miles more.
Should we do like a brief recap? So on our first episode, we talked about Scorpion King, which is The Rock's first movie. I think his first movie.
Not first
or
movie. He was in The Mummy, but it was one of his first.
one of his early roles.
First-
I think
One of his
maybe
early
it was-
roles.
I think it
as
was
a
his
leading
first
man.
lead.
As a leading
I would
man
say first lead,
on the
probably.
screen.
And
Yeah.
it was bitchin'. It was bad.
It was very cool.
It had the muscles. It had the
It
eyebrows.
had muscles. It had brows. It had sweaty guns.
It wasn't perfect, but
There were
it was
guns.
miles better than the 2 movies we had
Muscle
recently
guns.
seen.
Oh, muscle guns. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we had that Rock energy, and we took that, and we decided to watch Pain and Gain next.
Because we knew that The Rock would be big in this movie, and he was also alongside Marky Mark, who's also big.
It's a movie about muscles, actually, too. And the synopsis of the film, it's about muscles. It's about muscle men. It's about bodybuilders.
It literally is about muscles.
Yeah, so of course you'd think it'd be like the perfect movie for us to watch and kind of review and enjoy.
Should we just go into pros and cons?
Yeah,
I
we're
think
kind
we
of
should-
let down. We should talk about the overarching,
Let's
what
give
this
it a
movie's about,
quick
right?
plot. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
so
Sorry.
Pain and Gain is a movie by Michael Bay.
Well, it's based on a true story. Keep in mind, it is based on a true story.
Sloan,
which
do you want
I
to
will
do a
get
quick
into
recap
later.
of this movie for us? You
Well,
know more about it than we do.
well,
You did some research.
My mind is a little clouded by it because, okay, so I knew that this was based on a true story, and we were watching the film because
It
Michael
starts
Bay
saying
was
it's
the
a true
director,
story.
and then we
We
like,
didn't know Michael Bay was the director to the very end.
That's true.
But it makes
But
so much sense.
it was
makes
just
a
so
lot of
out
sense.
there that we were like, is this really based on a true story? Turns out it is.
It
is
is.
about 2 muscle men that have a
Mr.
scheme.
Pain and Mr. Gain.
Not their names.
Nope, I don't remember their names.
Not important.
But it's about 2 guys, or 3 guys, that mostly... Okay, Marky Mark has a scheme
Okay.
to rip off a rich man that attends his gym, to kidnap him, hold him hostage,
Yeah.
make him sign over all of his money, all of his property, everything. Turns out that did really happen.
Really weak
Yeah.
plot, but turns out that's real.
Yeah, kind
Not
of
a
a dumb
weak plot.
idea. I don't know what his end goal
It's
was, how to
amazing
like
that
just
it
get away
happened.
with it.
I don't know. I think he was a muscle-bound freak,
By
and he had
scaring
no
him.
mental capacity.
Well, as
here.
in
Yeah,
the,
it
in the
could be.
beginning of the film, they showed the amount of steroids that were going around.
Oh,
true.
Can we briefly talk about the beginning of the film? Because that had me ready for a good movie.
I was excited.
It was all
Really?
about America and muscles.
Yep.
And this is the American dream. You get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what we're looking for with a Rock movie is mass, is protein, muscles,
Steroids.
and it was all downhill from there.
Thing is, mostly the biggest thing for me, Marky Mark was like the star. The Rock wasn't in he wasn't the main person that this movie was about.
He was like even
He was a
amongst all these
side
muscles,
character.
he was the muscle of the group.
He was the muscle of the
so-
group.
Yeah.
He's also the cokehead of the group.
Yeah.
Turns out that got weird.
I would say The Rock in a more morally gray / black
Which
role
I
than
enjoyed.
that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed The Rock's performance. I liked the character he portrayed, which also turns out when I looked into the true story aspect, actually, The Rock was what's the word, amalgam of multiple people that were actually
know that word.
involved.
Malcolm in
In the middle?
Okay. He was like a culmination of multiple people that were real. They like the Marky Mark character was specifically based off of one person.
Okay.
The other guys were specifically based off a person, and The Rock was more representative of like 3
Multiple
dudes.
people. So
and
you
The
would-
Rock is so big.
So
Who
could
was-
you say...
Who was Frankie Muniz?
Frankie
so-
Muniz was not involved.
So
Why-
could you say that
You're
The Rock,
worst. You're the worst.
with his muscle mass, he had the same amount of muscle mass...
Sorry,
That was a long one. He
one.
had the same amount of muscle mass as, like, three dudes,
men.
as you would say.
Three
So it
men.
kind of makes sense that he's playing this
That-
role.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it
So
makes
okay,
sense.
let's back up a little bit.
They
so
realized he
in
had
this,
3 characters he had to play, so he took on the mass of 3 men.
Okay, can we back
Yes.
up a little bit?
Of solid
Trying to give
muscle.
these people a synopsis. So,
Yeah.
like it was said about the character that Marky Mark's character was based on. He was the mastermind and a manipulator. Some say a sociopath that
can see
controlled
that.
the people involved and was really the most cruel to the man that they kidnapped,
He was a
which they
dick.
did sort of portray in the film.
Yeah.
It was also true that they did keep in the movie and in the true story, they did keep a man in a warehouse. It's just how they
Was it
obtained the
actually a
warehouse.
dildo warehouse like the movie?
That's
or was that
the
a weird
part-
sex
the
joke?
weird thing was is that the article didn't imply if it was or was not. Just
just
said
add-
warehouse.
So the biggest thing about
that
this
could
movie
have
for
just been
me,
for dick jokes.
personally, was this movie was like supposed to be like a dark comedy.
Yes, it could have been.
It kind of felt
Without
like
Michael Bay.
imagine if you're throwing darts and you have an entire wall where that wall is named dark comedy, and you throw a few darts. And all of them kind of like hit the bottom of that wall, like next to the ground, where like you kind of feel it's like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're like, this is
It-
like not exactly what it should
It
be.
just
It's
barely checked off the
Also,
boxes.
Yeah.
well, okay, another thing
a
though
weird
about this
roundabout
dark
way.
comedy aspect, there were parts of this movie where we were like, if this is based on a true story, this could not have happened. Turns out though, the things that you can't believe actually happened
Mind blowing.
did fucking happen.
I think the story is cooler than the movie.
The story is
Yes.
a very cool story.
Yeah.
It's just they let Michael Bay do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the scenes in particular that gave us these weird feelings and then we were amazed to find out it really happened was at the end, they decided that they had to kill the guy to really get away with this plan. It wasn't in there from the beginning, but that's what they decided they had to do. So, in the movie, they put this guy who it's been said was in AA and sober. Anyway,
Yeah.
they put him in a car, they covered him, they got him drunk, then they covered him with Baileys. And then
They made him
just
drink
drink Baileys and then put it all over his body. So
Yeah.
he would just like reek of liquor even as a dead person. And then
Weird
they
choice of alcohol,
put,
by the way.
put
I
him
don't
in
know
the
if that's
car.
even flammable.
Then they put a propane tank and open it, put it in the trunk, and then their plan was to just put a brick on the gas and have it run into something, make it blow up, then the propane blows up. Oh, they also covered the car in gasoline.
Yeah, craziness.
And then-
Insane stuff.
Then the
absurd.
guy, then it didn't work. And then
Yeah.
the guy escapes the car.
On
And then-
fire. He's on fire.
On fire. And then they have to run over, they get the Rock to run over him. And then he runs over his fucking face, but the man still lives. Turns out, all of that happened.
Yeah.
That actually fucking happened to this person.
The story is twisted. The way that Michael
very
Bay
twisted.
told it was twisted in a shittier sense.
If you had just, I don't know,
Just think
somebody
about
else
the
behind the wheel.
Transformers movies
behind
and
the
then
wheel.
take away all the Transformers.
Yeah, and throw in
And
some more muscle.
I fucking hated the movie.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It was really bad.
Let's
and
talk about how the movie kind of ends, just so we can kind of wrap up the movie
So yeah,
synopsis.
so they give you kind of a preview of what's going to happen in the end. You see Marky Mark, he's doing crunches on the side of a wall like a real American hero, and then the cops show up and he
God
starts
bless.
running away, and then it gets into the plot of the movie, and then circles back to the beginning of the story. In the end, it has Marky Mark, he's doing his crunches, and pretty much they all get caught.
Yep, they
and
all just go to
arrested.
jail.
There's a dirty lawyer involved.
Yep.
There's a dirty gym owner gets involved and they arrest him.
yep,
Just everybody
yep.
gets arrested, and all these people are based off of true people that truly were arrested for this crime.
Yep. Yep.
Alright.
Yep.
They
Yep.
just get
R.I.P.
caught. Also,
So-
though, The Rock is a devout Christian in AA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
Which is
Rock
an interesting
found
part of
God
this movie.
He did find God.
and cocaine.
Well,
and
he
cocaine.
He had a coke problem. Then he
Which
found.
I thought-
This is his backstory. He had a coke problem.
Yeah.
Then he found Jesus, and he went to prison, and he was like the Robin Hood of prison, beating up bad guys. And then he gets out of prison,
pretty
and then
sick.
he
That
meets
was
Marky
pretty
Mark,
sick.
gets back on coke, and then he does coke off of hot ladies' butts.
Yep, that scene
That
was my
was
favorite part of the movie.
amazing.
Very
Watching The Rock
cool.
do a line off some chick's bosom, her
And butt.
and butt was amazing. I didn't see that coming.
I'm flushing up right now thinking about it.
But
It's hot.
overall, the movie kind of sucked.
So,
As much as we're talking it up right now,
I
think
would
Chris Rock was
recommend
good.
instead of watching this movie to, if you're really that curious, go on YouTube and look up The Rock doing cocaine.
yeah.
but
Yep.
we don't know if that'll
That
actually
was-
have results.
That's
but
true.
Maybe it won't.
You'll probably, whatever YouTube brings you is better than that movie as a
Yeah.
whole.
Can we kind of switch gears and specifically talk about what this podcast is about? Let's talk about The Rock in the movie.
Let's talk about The Rock. We're talking about too
Now
much
that
about
we're done
this
with the
plot.
synopsis.
I think part
How
of
was
why
The Rock?
I think that's part of why maybe we're not portraying this as so shitty is because when we do talk about The Rock, his performance was very good. He was
Yeah,
convincing.
actually, you know what? I liked his character.
He was
was.
convincing.
He played it really well.
Yeah, he he did like this layered character that was morally torn. He took on a nurturing role to the man that they kidnapped, and
When
then
he was
got all
coked out of his
coked up.
mind,
Then
he
got
looked
all
like he was
coked
coked out of his mind. He portrayed it really
I think the
well.
least believable part about his character was how big he was. Because normal people don't look like that.
That's very true. Only one in billions.
Yeah.
Only one rock, guys.
There's only one rock.
Only one rock.
So we were watching this movie. None of us were really jamming to it. The ending kind of sucked, and we were like, huh. And then on the screen flash, it's directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah.
That
all
kind of
makes
like
sense.
immediately. I remember you and I locked eye contact, Aaron, and we were like, okay.
That explains the
That
last 2 hours of
explains
my
it.
life.
Yeah, because like there were some cool things in the movie. I feel like in the hands of a better director, you could have handled the story
thinking-
It's
better.
an actual cool story.
Or I
Yeah.
try to imagine this like, because like with the dark comedy, it's like, what if there was this indie film director that got a hold of this, but they also were able to hire The Rock? It would have been a beautiful
You don't have the
film.
budget.
You don't need
It
Mark
would've
to
had
Mark. Just
the
get the rock.
You have to pay him by
And
muscle.
smiles.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
only part that would
that's
get in the
the
way, because
problem.
I would still want The Rock.
That's
in
why
this
he's so
film, 'cause
expensive
it
in
is
movies
about
nowadays.
Big dudes. It's about
Some movies only
bodybuilders
have
on
part of The
roids.
Rock.
It is. It's a bodybuilder movie.
It really
But,
is. It was perfect. for him.
Personally, in my heart, besides The Rock doing coke off that girl's ass, my favorite part of the movie, the tracksuits.
Good
Yeah.
tracksuit.
Yeah.
Those muscly guys wore some pretty nice
They filled
form-fitting
them out. They
tracksuits.
filled
Yeah. They filled
Now,
them out big
the one
time.
I remember Marky Mark wearing, he had full white tracksuit with the Adidas tracksuit with the blue
Of course,
lines,
Adidas.
with the blue lines on that white
Mm-hmm.
tracksuit. It looked pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
Maybe kind of jealous.
I also liked seeing, even though it was like total product placement, I did like the scenes with Marky Mark on the riding mower to symbolize the American dream. I just
They
enjoyed
just
that
flashed
visual.
us what, John Deere or something.
Yeah, it was
I
strange.
still
obnoxious.
enjoyed that. I
It sounds like
that
a Michael Bay
visual
thing,
for
He
some
might as
reason.
well
honestly.
be sipping a Monster energy drink.
That's a
I
Michael
like
Bay
the visual,
thing.
like actually seeing him finally mowing his lawn and like drinking a
Yeah,
beer
yeah.
in this like Bel Air or whatever they are.
Mhm.
It's very California, also by the way, because that's
Oh,
where it's based. Oh, there's
extremely
also they do
California.
make a real world reference to like how the gym was in competition with Gold's Gym, which is what I believe is where Arnold Schwarzenegger got real big,
Well, he
Once he
did
came
not
to
get
America.
as big as The Rock.
and it's
Nope.
also where Patrick Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, reps working out. So anyway,
I do not know who Arnold Schwarzenegger's son is.
it's Patrick
I'm
Schwarzenegger.
I'm
It's
astounded that you know
It's
that.
actually a deep cut to a different podcast, but we won't do that right now.
All right.
Well, we'll tune
Well,
in.
is
to
there
the
anything
show.
else
Sorry,
any
guys.
of you want to
Had a
say
couple
about
things.
Pain and Gain?
Yeah, a big part of it for me. So you're in a movie. Well, you're seeing trailers for a movie called Pain and Gain. There's two dudes, blank and blank. You assume their names are Pain and Gain, correct?
Well, there's two
I
dudes.
did
I
not assume
assumed
that.
it was Oliver Payne and Michael Gain.
I did not
No, it
assume
was not
that.
a crime drama.
I
did not
thought it
assume
was.
that.
I came into this movie thinking it was a buddy cop drama. It was anything but. It was two big dudes,
Three big dudes.
not
big
named
dudes.
Payne or Gain.
Nope.
Three guys.
I don't know where they did say Pain and Gain once.
Yes.
He said it twice.
No, well, maybe they did.
I think he said it twice.
That movie.
No pain, no
Reference
gain, maybe.
to how you get to the American dream. You got to go through the pain to gain that money and those
Boom.
and those muscles.
All right. So overall, would
Stinker.
you recommend this movie?
No,
There were scenes in it that I thought were genuinely funny. But overall, I would say
when I was trying to
watch a
accept
better
it,
movie.
Honestly?
actually, I do. Actually, no, I do have to jump because I'm shitting on it. But also, I was trying to accept the movie for what it was, and I think that's important when you're watching shitty movies and you know they're going into it, accept it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And in that vein, I was able to laugh at some of the dildo
I laughed at
jokes.
stuff. I was laughing, but
And
there are also
some of the
times where I was
dark-
just
and some of the
confused about
dark-
why that
Oh my gosh,
existed.
I
and
laughed
when
at
it
a few
did get
times.
very dark, I was entertained. I was entertained when it got really dark.
I would be lying if I said I was not entertained by this movie.
My opinion on this is if you're on an airplane and it's either you watch Pain and Gain or you look out the window, watch Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
But if you're a real
Unless
person
you're going
on
up
the
the Grand
earth
Canyon.
and you're like, watch Pain and Gain or pick a good movie.
Or do anything else with my life.
Yeah, do the other thing.
Probably do the other
Do
thing.
the other thing.
Yeah.
The Rock did not save this one.
The Rock had the best performance.
He
though.
did.
He did.
He did.
He didn't. I really agree he doesn't save it, but he is the best part of that movie.
So, like our first podcast, what score out of 100 would you give The Rock?
The Rock,
The Rock in Pain and Gain or Pain and Gain
just
itself?
like this is
That's where it
very
gets hard.
like this gets like really.
It's tricky. It's tricky because a
I'm
garbage
trying to,
movie
like,
could
am I
still
comparing-
have 100%
Am
Rock.
I comparing like or like
That's
The
true.
Rock compared to
That's
his other
true.
performances? Am I
Yeah, because now you have the Scorpion King that basically.
I guess just the feelings that The Rock gave me, I give him a 75.
He was more emotionally complex than he was in Scorpion
Maybe
King.
even an 80. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna give him an 85.
Wow.
I'm gonna give him because The Rock
that's
did a
bold.
goddamn good job.
That's bold.
He did a good job.
Bold.
He fed a man tacos. It was good.
I'm gonna give
Taco Bell also paid for this movie.
Aaron,
think
what did you
outside
think?
the bun. I'm gonna give him. I believe the last rating I gave was about 72.
You were harsh.
For Scorpion King.
Yeah, I give it 86.
And I liked him.
I almost want to change my score to
I
92.
think
I really
as
like
much
The Rock.
as Scorpion King was a better movie, I think The Rock was a bigger character in this movie.
Definitely.
I'm gonna bump it up to a 74.
I'm torn because I liked his performance in Pain and Gain a lot. I thought it was great, but I liked him being the leading role in Scorpion King.
Still though, even though
He
he
did not
wasn't the
have a-
leading role in this movie, he definitely had more lines and more emotional depth in this movie. And
That's
I'm
true.
changing my score to a
Yeah.
92.
His overall
everybody.
acting
Fuck
performance,
it.
92.
That's right. The Rock saved this movie.
All right, so I'm gonna say Pain and Gain, The Rock's performance. I'll give it. My last one was 86 on Scorpion King. I'll give this one 89.
Ballsy.
89.
I guess I'm the curmudgeon here. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't.
I know it's
love
better,
Rock.
but it's not like soaring
I'm
on
just trying
eagle's
to think
wings
about
better.
specifically The Rock separating
That
it
was
from the parts
not
of the movie that
Eagle's Wings.
disappointed
You have to
me.
separate The Rock from the movie.
Just like his and like how much he saved the movie for me.
It's true.
And he did that a lot.
If he wasn't in that movie, we would never watch it. That movie
Never would
would have
touch
sucked.
it. Overall, in this evolving series, we've gone from Scorpion King,
Mm-hmm.
and we all agreed that The Rock grew.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We all
As an
thought he
actor,
was-
absolutely.
we all thought
Both
he was
in muscle
and in
mass
bulk.
and as an
And
actor.
in bulk.
And in charisma.
Yeah, he's a charming guy.
He's so charming.
The movie sucked, but The Rock did not.
Yeah.
So,
He's a goddamn winner.
coming straight out of that fervor and excitement that we had watching that movie, we decided to hit up Fast 12 or whatever. that
Fate
movie
Fast
of
is.
the Furious.
Fate of the Furious. We
Fate of
realized
the
that
Furious.
weekend, I think the following weekend was when that movie came out. And we didn't really have time to film a podcast about Pain and Gain before going to see Fast and Furious. So we decided to kind of lump them together.
We're mashing them together. You
Might as
get
well,
2
double
for the
episode.
price of 1.
2 for the price of 1, baby. That's a deal.
And in keeping up with a bit of backstory, watching these Fast and Furious movies, we would traditionally get, we would have some
We'd have a little bit of
beverages.
We would have a little bit of alcohol before. Just a little bit, just to get a
And-
base. Just to get a base going.
So I got more than a base.
Oh, definitely.
I don't want to admit this, but I don't remember a lot of the movie. I remember leaving the movie theater and looking at the bartender and be like, dude, don't see this movie.
Like, so we're at a movie theater that does have a bartender, which helps to seed this film.
Yeah, I would not watch this film sober at all, ever.
Fuck.
For any reason.
And this movie broke records. It made a
Yeah.
shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I do think.
Sloan, can you provide us with a quick recap of the
So
movie?
here's the
perhaps?
thing.
I wouldn't be
Here's
able
the
to tell
thing.
you.
I'm not gonna lie. I was also intoxicated.
Oh,
I
why
also
would you-
though
yeah.
wish that even though we were saying you had to be drunk for this movie, I wish I was
Intoxicated right now?
less intoxicated for this movie because was an action movie so absurd? I need a little bit of plot to follow, and if I'm drunk,
That's the problem.
the thing is, I just hope that maybe if I was less intoxicated, I would find that teeny bit of plot because I've been able to do that with.
There
Fast
There was
and Furious
plot, it just
films
was
in the
weak.
past.
I thought it was
So-
weak. Extremely weak.
Throughout the movie, I realized, oh, this is a stinker, and nothing is memorable.
I'm going to talk
I-
about the movie if
so
you're
I
not going to
took
explain
notes.
it. Did you, synopsis of the movie?
Let's start with the synopsis.
I don't.
So, okay,
Alright.
so
No,
essentially this
honestly,
movie is,
Vin Diesel's
I don't know
wife,
who Charlize
ex-girlfriend?
Theron's character is, if
She's
she's
a bad
bad
guy.
guy.
bad guy, of course, but was she previously a
Cyber
bad guy?
hacker.
I think she's
New.
been there before.
New blood.
New Blood.
How she couldn't be New Blood. She's
You
had
guys
that
are
in a movie
describing this
before.
movie so bad.
So
Okay.
essentially what
You
this
do
movie's
it.
about, she had access to Vin Diesel's son and was threatening his life and was getting Vin Diesel to do things for her.
With the baby mama
And
is
turn
from
on
the
everyone
previous
else.
Film.
Meanwhile, The Rock is teaching kids how to play soccer.
That's
Yeah,
not
that-
part of the plot, guys.
not
It's
part of the
just
plot.
The best
I would
scene in the
say
movie.
We'll get
that's-
there.
It's the best
We'll get
scene.
there. That's the best scene in the movie. So essentially, Vin Diesel is a bad guy this whole movie because the real bad guy in the movie was threatening
He's
his
being
son.
manipulated.
Yeah. And so
know
he
what
had to be a
anybody
bad
else
guy
is
to
doing,
everyone. That's really it.
I don't
That's
know what
really
else is
it.
happening with everyone else. I don't
Honestly,
see
I
what their
couldn't have
goal
even
is.
said that.
I don't know. Her goal was just to
What's the goal of everyone else? Is the part that
To
I
drive
What do you mean?
fast.
I just don't. I don't know.
They just
where
do things
they
with
came
fast
into
cars.
The rest of this,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember.
They were
there
doing a
being
mission in the
monetary
beginning.
prize.
They were doing a mission in the beginning, and then that's when Vin turned on them.
Yeah, Vin swiped his car and crashed.
Swiped the
into
Rock's
him.
car, got him into prison because he wasn't able to escape from the cops.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my first feelings of this movie is when we are sitting down and
We were pleased.
There's a big ass screen and it's flesh. It's all
Oh, yeah.
Vin Diesel's
Yep.
body.
Yep.
He's very big and he looks like a big baby with muscles.
Yep, it was amazing.
And me and Zach are just giggling to each other. But little did we know that Vin would be dwarfed by the fucking machine of a man that is
Mountain.
The Rock in this movie. A mountain of a man. He
Yeah.
put on, I shit you not, over 15 pounds plus The Rock's regular mass.
Which
he
is
gained
astounding.
15 pounds for this movie.
Well, no pain, no
It
gain,
is
baby.
the biggest he has. It's the biggest he's ever been.
Wow.
Do we
And-
know that
yes,
ever?
I guarantee
Even
you.
Hercules? Because he was
Bigger than
goddamn
Hercules.
huge in Hercules.
I would say bigger than Hercules.
Okay.
Yeah, the
I fit-
man
Hercules
could
is
barely
6'5".
fit in a car. And, but yet again, he did not save this shitty movie.
Yeah. I just.
He might have saved pain and gain a little bit, but he did not save Fate of the
So,
Furious.
I was just gonna introduce.
Yeah.
I could tell when we were in this movie, this is a stinker. This has no story. I'm not gonna remember this. So I took notes throughout, and they were just kind
God
of
bless. God
they're
bless
sort
you,
of
Sloan.
snapshots of my memories of the movie. They
Yeah.
don't necessarily make sense to me now, but I just have I have my notes out now, so I could just maybe interject some of the thoughts that I had throughout the film. They are in chronological order because
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
took notes as the
It
movie
might, it
went
might help
on.
talking about the movie,
So-
discussing
Run
a little
through
bit.
'em.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll try to, one of my first notes that's worth noting
Mm-hmm.
is that the bad guys, it was actually a conversation Aaron and I had in the movie theater, was that they looked like Ninja Turtle bad guys because the hair of the bad guys was so sculpted. There was some Asian dude with very blonde hair that was very spiked.
Mm-hmm.
There was Charlize Theron. There was a white lady with very teeny tiny dreads, also
was
very
good.
sculpted. And there was
I liked her
also
hair. It was
some
weird but
guy
cool.
with red hair, and it was just so slicked back that it never moved. They seriously look like goddamn cartoons with their hair, and I couldn't stop.
Pretty,
paying
like,
attention.
comically bad guy.
Like they looked like drawn characters with their hair.
Yeah.
It was insane. So that was
It's
something.
like, our bad guys were so, like, one-dimensional, we had to put one thing in them so everyone, it was that guy with the hair. He had this kind of hair. Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about,
That's
man.
a good point. The characters were so shitty that they needed a visual
Yeah.
defining feature.
Yeah, of course.
Some other, a couple other things that I have after this. I don't know what they mean exactly. I have bitch. What the fuck are they saying?
Some bitch.
I also have
Yeah.
whisker biscuit. Whatever that means.
Sloan, were we watching the same movie?
I think that might have been a bit of dialogue, but I misinterpreted it.
Whisker biscuit?
I have written down whisker biscuit. And then after this was, why is Jason Statham here? Just like
That's
too
true.
much
Yeah.
action movie
Hey.
at
That's
once.
true. That was badass, though.
I
That
thought it
Jason
was
fight
Statham
scene?
is a dwarf among
It was-
these
oh
big
my
men.
God.
Yeah,
he
but that
looks
was
so
still
small.
awesome to watch.
He's just
Is
like,
he playing The Rock's son?
no,
A baby
no.
pebble of a
they're
rock?
going against each other in the
Yeah.
prison. I do remember this now. Like,
When-
so
after Rock got
Rock and
arrested,
Jason
he fought
Statham,
Jason Statham in the prison because someone
They
was like,
escaped together.
Why would
Yeah.
you ever fight The Rock? You're
right, you know you're gonna
that's
lose.
a poor decision.
You know
He's
you're gonna
British
You
lose.
need
and
to
has a lot of
befriend
ego.
him and ride his back to victory.
If you think
I
somehow you can
remember
be
they
more
just-
nimble
they
than
talk-
him, would
I
be the
think
only
some
way.
bitch was maybe something that The Rock was saying to Jason Statham. Maybe like, you some bitch.
What other notes you got there, Sloan?
Jeep is a sponsor. I wrote that
Yeah.
down. It's raining cars
the movie
during an
was
explosion.
a fucking
I see you
car
wrote.
commercial.
I see 3 words in a row, capitalized. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Yes, I have vroom vroom vroom. This was when
Your
I
notes
think
are impeccable.
I think it was around the time I remember that there were explosions and cars were just falling from the sky.
Which
And
time?
when they were getting control. Oh yes,
Was
the
it-
bad guys were controlling the cars with the
Zombie
Googles.
cars.
Oh, the
They
Google
were
cars.
using
They-
GPS
Smart cars.
systems
They okay
and
Googled
cars.
some cars.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
okay Googling some cars to control it for I don't know what. They were
Because
trying to get at,
Vin was
but
trying to escape and they're using them to
And
help
then-
Vin escape.
I also have
What did he steal? I don't even remember.
nitrous claws.
Some program probably. Some
So
evil
essentially,
malware.
this bad girl's idea was to launch nukes. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, nuke
she
cars.
wanted to like explode the world.
Or at least
Like,
threaten
make the world fight each
like
other.
classic bad guy, like Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah,
like
so
we'll take
dumb.
over the world with the nuclear weapons. So actually, this was the note that I starred.
Yeah.
because I thought it was
What do you
very
got?
funny.
Show me something good.
The Rock has a wallet chain. He must have in the movie because I made a note.
I
of it.
didn't pick up on
The
that.
Didn't
Rock had
either.
a wallet chain in the movie.
Oh, that's why you take
That is
notes.
a character that does not need a wall chain.
No.
You
He's on
don't
the move.
fucking take the
He's
Rock's
on the
wallet.
Yeah, actually, you got a point there.
Yeah.
But he had it in the movie
The
because
ch-
I.
His
remembered.
arm is stronger than that chain.
That's true. You got any
So-
other points you want to touch on?
Oh, we are right on the nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
Because I also
yeah.
wrote nukes, nukes, nukes.
I mean, there was a giant nuclear submarine in the movie, which I thought would be way cooler and more drawn out of a scene. Aaron doesn't remember it.
I don't even remember the sub.
I also wrote, in all caps, more Dwayne, and then The Rock bets a bomb, and he said, just a word of dialogue from The Rock was, boom, baby.
Oh.
So,
He had some good one-liners.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wish I remembered that.
so this is, okay. So this is how I ended it.
Okay.
Submarine finally happened. A lot of exclamation points. Explosion. Period. The Rock in a leather vest. Daddy's staying home. I think The Rock said Daddy's staying home at the end to his daughter.
Do you see The Rock as a father figure?
No, I think he
I
said
wish
to
I
his
did.
daughter because she's like, "Are you gonna?" Because he's okay. In the beginning of the film, we see that The Rock is a very good soccer coach.
Oh
and
my
she's
God, that
like,
scene was
"Daddy,
amazing.
are you
We'll
gonna
touch
leave
on that scene
again?"
more.
And he's in a leather vest and says to his daughter,
true.
"Daddy's staying home."
Yep.
And it probably made me feel warm inside, so I wrote it down.
All right. So overall, my biggest gripe with the movie, besides the weak plot and the characters are kind of one-dimensional, the bad guy escapes, and that's it.
There was
so.
no closure.
She gets away,
They're like,
and then the movie ends.
well, we
just-
still have fast cars, so let's make another movie.
Like the main bad
Very good
girl,
impression.
Thank you.
she gets away. She escapes from the sub, and then she just gets away. And then I remember,
Well, I guess just we still have the nukes.
I know I had a few drinks, but even me, that movie was like, oh, I could tell it was like the end scene. And I was like, wait a minute, they didn't wrap up anything with her.
Yeah. Here's my
Maybe
complaint.
so she can come back in the next one.
So let's talk about the Fast and Furious series as a whole. Fast and Furious 1, believe it or not, was about cars.
It was Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it was fast, it was furious, and nowadays
cars.
it has to be faster and furious with more with every movie. And the last one was fucking badass.
Yeah.
They had like a big plane explosion
Tank.
chase. They were driving on a
Tanks.
runway. It was intense.
Well, it said raining
This
cars.
movie felt like a step down. Yes,
Yeah, it really did. It
don't
really
know-
did.
I don't know how a movie with raining cars and robot zombie
And
okay,
Dwayne The
Google
Rock
Drive.
Johnson.
It was
and Vin
a-
Diesel.
It was a drop.
Yeah.
The movie sucked.
It was a letdown.
But also, should we now talk about the soccer part? The highlight?
Yeah,
of the
so
film?
like honestly, as soon as I watched this scene, I knew it would be my favorite scene in the movie. I thought it was so good. It had a lot of rock in it. Sloan, do you want to kind of give us a recap of this scene?
So, at the opening of the film, it made it so promising that, The Rock is killing it, and we're going to see a lot of him in this movie, because he had such a good opening scene with his, like, sort of backstory in a way. So we see that he is coaching, and he's very serious. Turns out...
Coaching a girls' soccer team.
Turns out
These girls
he's
are probably
coaching
like,
a
what,
girls'
like
soccer
10 years
team.
old?
10 to 12.
Yeah.
And then, because it's The Rock, they do this fighting dance. Very
Oh my
finely
God.
choreographed.
I would
to
say some like
intimidate-
tribal intimidation dance. It was
tribal,
amazing.
like intimidation dance to intimidate the other team.
It
And
was badass.
it's just like, if The Rock did have a soccer team, of course this is what these little girls would do.
Yep.
But and then The Rock is called to his mission, and he's
Yep.
like, I gotta coach this soccer, but I'll be back, baby. And it just was such, I don't know how to capture the magic of how good this scene was. I just like seeing
I would say
The Rock amongst
if
such
you can see this
tiny
movie
people.
for cheap,
The
I would
Rock
say
was such
go and
tiny
watch
people,
the
so-
first until the first Rock scene. Watch that scene, and then maybe leave, and then
Maybe
go watch
you
Fast
leave.
and Furious 7.
Maybe you can find this one by putting The Rock soccer coach.
That scene made
On
me think
YouTube.
this was going to be a good
Yeah,
movie.
it gave me high hopes for the movie.
I was like,
really
oh,
did.
we actually didn't waste our money on this.
Yeah,
But then we did.
turns out we did.
We
Overall,
did get on the plus side at the bar, they were having deals on beer plus a shot of Fireball, so we had those.
I thought the themed drinks at that bar would be better.
I did too.
I don't remember the theme.
There was
drinks.
4. They were
bar-
fine.
The guy
fact
at
that they
the
have
movie
themed
theater
drinks
had
at
seen
all.
the movie, and I asked him if it was good, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's good." That guy
Oh.
is either blind or a con man, because
Maybe it does help to be totally sober for this.
I mean, but if you're, I don't know.
does it help to be totally sober with anything?
It does with a lot of things. There's plenty of movies I would not want to watch sober, or I would not want to watch intoxicated.
Well,
If I want to
I'm
watch
not
movies
interested.
fast that are also fast and extremely furious,
Yeah.
I probably don't want to be just
You
like
got a point,
sober
you
hanging
got a
out.
point.
You
It's
gotta
just-
lube yourself
It's
up.
just like when
I
there's
also
Like
want to
a
be fast and
car.
furious.
My
Absolutely.
point still is, and I know you guys aren't with me on this, but when a movie is so weak on the plot, I want to be clear-headed so I can try to follow the plot, because that helps me get through the shitty movie.
See that?
Sloan's a plot girl.
I'm the complete opposite. If I know a plot's going to be
feel like
weak,
there
I want to
needs
forget forget that there even is a resemblance of a plot.
Exactly.
I just can't
That's
get
how I
through
feel.
2 hours of explosions. I
I
need
That's
want-
why
something
there
to
weren't
follow.
enough explosions. That's why
There
it didn't
also weren't
tide me
enough
over.
explosions, actually.
There weren't enough cars.
I
There were
wanted boobs and
barely any
explosions.
cars.
So a lot of it
For
also.
a movie about cars?
There were a lot of cars.
Okay,
I
but
will
you
say
think a movie
also,
about
though,
cars would be a lot more
A
cars.
weird thing about this movie that was a thing that kept happening throughout the film, which we noticed, was that there's a lot of dialogue between people in cars with their windows up and their doors shut, but they're talking in whispers really intimately, and somehow they hear each other. They're not
Yeah.
on their
I
phones.
assume they have some comm system between all the cars.
Nope.
They didn't, but
Nope. It's just
yeah,
weird.
you
Maybe
could be
that's been-
driving 300 miles an hour and look and be like, "This is the last ride," and then some other
Don't
car.
go, baby.
Yeah,
And then-
it pulled me out of the
It was
action.
weird. That was a
Yeah,
strange
that is
element.
Then again, it would also be kind of flaccid to have them pull out a cell phone and call each other. And
I'm
on a
assuming
conference
they
call.
have some. They're working as a team. I'm assuming they have
They
some
could just-
internal
they could
They
have
communication.
got
them casually
gadgets.
click a-
Ludacris
they could
probably
have them-
programmed
They
something
could have
into
them
the cars.
casually click a button.
Yeah. Yep.
And they
Well.
didn't. So it was weird.
Anyway, we're straying off
It's
topic
another
a little
weird
bit.
thing,
Let's
sorry.
talk about how The Rock performed in this movie.
I don't remember much except that he has a wallet chain and he was a really good soccer coach. And
I
then
enjoyed him.
He didn't
And
have
then
a big
he
enough
wore a
part
leather
for me.
vest at
He
the
didn't
end,
have a big
which
enough part.
I liked.
Well, actually, this brings me to a real life feud that Vin Diesel and The Rock are actually having a feud about screen time in the Fast and Furious movies. I shit you not. It's because The Rock wants more time because The Rock sees this franchise and he's like, it's a movie about big fast cars. I'm a big fast dude. I want to be in this movie. And then Vin is like, oh, I made these movies. I need to be the main character. And nobody, in a world with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, there's no place for Vin. As much as I
That's
love
true.
the guy.
That's
As
true.
much as I love the guy,
I think they can
Dwayne
be
is
there
more
together.
charismatic and 50% bigger.
He's
Yeah.
definitely more charismatic.
least
and
50%
is bigger,
bigger.
but I think there can be place for both of them.
So,
On the same screen.
Yeah,
There's
no,
not enough
actually-
screen in the world for both of them on the same
Tell me
screen.
more about this dispute. Are they trying to, is The Rock trying to get more or is he trying to get equal? What's the issue?
Here's
what's
the
going
thing.
on.
Here's the kicker.
What's up?
There was a deleted scene at the end of the movie, a post-credit scene that was setting up a spin-off starring The Rock, which is what we all want.
All of us.
But Vin canned it.
Fucking
Vin was jealous that The Rock was trying to take over his franchise, which I get, but
Kind
The
of makes
Rock-
I'm
sense.
sure he
The
Yeah.
Rock
signed some
would do it
crazy
better.
contracts, though.
And supposedly they're cool now, but that part got cut.
Yep.
And who knows when the spin-off is going to happen.
If it's gonna happen.
Do
But we
also-
all know that a movie starring The Rock in this fast car universe would be the best one.
He's got that smile and he's got those eyebrows.
It depends if it's heavy on the cars or I don't know. I think like most of the Rock scenes in the movie were great. Even if it's a movie about him being a soccer coach,
I just
I
wanna
would
look-
watch the shit out of
I
that
just
movie.
want to look at The Rock. I want to see veins and sweat
Actually,
and muscles.
This
Yeah.
makes me wonder. I know we already discussed
Ugh.
before this recording that we were going to watch some old Rock wrestling stuff. However, this just
What do you got? You got an
discussion.
idea you want to throw
I'm
at me?
just saying this discussion about how like we'd be down to see The Rock, in a juxtaposing type role where he is a soccer coach. What if you watch one of his family films, say The Tooth Fairy?
That's going to be terrible. Well, I thought I was going to hate Pain and Gain. I hated Pain and Gain.
Or maybe, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just
Let
throwing it out
love in
there
your
that
heart,
we
man.
should at least watch one of his family
Yeah,
films.
I'm
We should.
extremely down to watch the
We're
Tooth Fairy.
trying to, over episode by episode, we're building a more full visualization of what The Rock is
Yep.
as a whole.
Yep.
From birth to death. What is
From
The Rock?
pebble to mountain.
From pebble to mountain.
I'll do my best
Okay.
maybe to find some images
I
of
got
him as a
goosebumps.
baby.
Yeah. All right. We didn't talk as much about this movie as Pain and Gain, but I feel like there wasn't a whole lot more
There
to talk
wasn't
about.
Just-
any substance to this movie.
Well,
it
of
was
course it
about
wasn't
cars.
substance.
Honestly,
Bad.
I think I might have enjoyed Pain and Gain more than this
I
movie.
definitely did. It was more
I did.
entertaining.
I didn't think I would.
Which
but I did.
I didn't think I would either.
This
I
movie
thought
is a
I would go
goddamn
into
train
Fast
wreck.
and Furious
I did.
loving it.
I mean, I didn't totally.
I thought I would
think
leave the
hated
movie
Pain
theater
and Gain.
doing Will Smith woos, like
Woo! Woo!
and like
Woo!
if anything, I was just
Yeah.
borderline blacked out, stumbling and grumbling.
Yeah.
Well, part of that's your own fault, but
Stumbling
I
and
don't see
grumbling.
how
It
is.
drove you to
I
drink.
don't
It
see
drove
how
you
it
Question,
is.
question I'm going to ask both of you. What would it be out of 100? Rock's performance in the movie. The Rock's performance in Fate of the Furious.
all
Fast
I
and Furious
really
8
remember, the only scene that was memorable
was the soccer scene.
The
Yeah.
and then the prison break.
I'm gonna give him a 64.
Just, I mean, like with Pain and Gain, I was able to get past like the shitty parts of the movie, but I guess there also, actually, there just wasn't enough of The Rock.
That's
so
my
this
big
isn't
gripe.
a judgment on him.
Yeah.
It's about not having enough Rock. So I'm gonna go with what'd you give it, Aaron?
64.
I was also gonna
I'm
go
critical.
64.
I was going with 70. because I enjoyed the scenes that he was in. I realized it's not his fault he wasn't in more of them. Every scene he did have, I did enjoy. But
I'm just
Vin Diesel,
still
if you're
wasn't-
listening to this podcast, which I would say he probably is,
I'm sure
Probably.
he's subscribed. He's our
Kind of a
only
big deal.
subscriber.
you need to swallow your pride and let Dwayne star in your movies.
He's probably trying to do actually as much Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Recon as he can right now
He probably is.
to
So
get
he's
through this
tuning
wheeling
in.
and dealing.
Yeah.
Get it? Wheeling and dealing.
I don't get it.
Cars.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh!
All right. Overall, I think all of us agree that Pain and Gain was more entertaining than Fate of the
Somehow.
Furious.
I would
Yep.
never have
But
guessed.
also, none of us expected that, which is pretty sad.
Dwayne is giving us surprises. They're,
Yep.
they're dark surprises.
They are dark
But,
surprises. Anyway, the next kind of leap into the future of this podcast, we're going back in time. We're going back to WrestleMania
back.
14.
1998, baby. The Rock's first major appearance in WrestleMania, and I didn't do too hard of research, but it looks like he was in WrestleMania. Sorry, I took a bite of pizza.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, guys. It looks like he was in WrestleMania 13 the year before this, but under a different name, like the Rocky or something. It was something similar.
We'll
That makes
discuss
me
this.
sick to my stomach.
We will discuss
But
this,
this is, it
at
looks like
length.
from what I found,
Oh, at
and
length.
it is on YouTube if you guys want to watch it, the full like 2.5 hours of WrestleMania. Maybe we could maybe post where The Rock is actually in, because I
We
figured
won't. We're a very
maybe we'll
lazy
skip through.
social media
Okay,
presence.
well anyway, all of it is on YouTube, WrestleMania 14. And this is The Rock's first major appearance
Yeah.
in WrestleMania.
We're
through
trying-
WWF at the time, now WWE.
We want to watch The Rock become The Rock. We want to. We want his history.
We want the
So
geological
we can
process.
fully smell what he's cooking.
Exactly.
I want, yeah.
We have
To
to
smell
be
what
at
he's
the beginning
cooking,
of
we
the
have to
broth.
look at the ingredients.
I always imagine it's a soup.
fucking
I imagine
beautiful.
it's a soup. It takes a long time, and this is like the building of the broth. This is where he's
His
playing with the
muscles have
marrow
been
to make the
marinating for a
broth
long time.
Yeah,
of this
Absolutely.
mountain of a man in broth.
Basically,
I guess.
we
This
can't.
metaphor got lost, but
we can't
you
go
know.
Yeah.
further in this podcast without knowing how he became.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to go both into his present,
Guys.
his future, and his past.
We're gonna dig deep, and I hope you all
Hope you brought your
join
shovels.
us.
It's gonna be The Rock with hair, guys.
Oh, I'm excited for The Rock with hair.
I'm freaking out a
He had
little
some
bit.
hair in WrestleMania time, 1998.
Also,
This is when he also became my personal fucking hero.
real quick,
So,
just remember. Do
as
you
a
remember
child.
any single eyebrow raises in any of those movies?
Fast movie.
Any of them, Pain and Gain or Fast.
I feel like Pain and Gain had to have one when he was on coke.
I don't remember either
don't-
one
I
having
don't-
an eyebrow raise.
I think I should
His
continue
iconic
taking
move
notes.
was never brought out.
I
would
don't. I
agree.
don't want to say it never happened.
If
I think
anything,
I'm
it
gonna
was
start
once.
taking notes every time now, though, so we can
We
get
tried,
like these
though.
times like The Rock has a wallet chain. You know, that was useful.
Don't count those.
Okay, so essentially, we just
you.
talked about Pain and Gain for a while. We talked about Fate of the Furious for a little bit less. Next thing we're going to watch and try to talk about WrestleMania 14, 1998. I'll post a link to it, the YouTube link to it somewhere, if any of you want any context or anything. But I guess we'll see you next time. This has been The Rock Block, Episode 2. I'm Zach.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Sloan.
And as always, if you like what you heard, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like what you heard, hit us with a thumbs up. If you don't, hit us with a thumbs down. This is The Rock Block. Woo!
Is cooking.
The Rock says. 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 The Rock says, know your damn role.
Know your role and shut your mouth. The Rock's laying the smackdown. Ha. The Rock's laying the smackdown.
says know your damn role.